today I will be talking about my Mbongi, my Bongi, excuse me, not Mbongi, Bongi, from the Professor Wiggins class. This was our first Bongi of the semester, and it's over rhetoric and composition. The second page talks about the overview. So it talks about why. You must understand why you are taking this course and its relevance to your major. You must also understand why this course is relevant outside of academics. And then the next section talks about what you should do this week for our learning. First is our welcome quiz. That's just a mandatory welcome quiz for us to even take the course. That was already done. Then he wanted us to read. It says, read the article on rhetoric, writing, and information design. And then annotate the document. What do you want from this course? And what do you want to learn? Headshot. We had to send a headshot for one of our first assignments. This later was used for our one of our projects for our resume. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was for a resume. And then it talks about research for the week. At the bottom, it says you are expected to research each term or phrase and write down your findings and draw any models. This written preparation is mandatory for class participation. So bring your homework is what he's saying. Okay, the Mbongi section. It says, research all of the following: communication model, Dunning-Kruger effect, and Mbongi. Note, students who do not bring their written research will not be able to participate in class, okay? That's neither here nor there because I do my homework. Disclaimer, always check Blackboard and your email for all official communication. This is not an official communication and only serves as a reminder. And then his contact information is below. I'm not going to state that. You can read. All right. The third page goes over a communication model, and we had to label it. Me, I like art, so I wrote characters. So this dude is the sender, and you see I labeled it sender. Around you'll see those squigglies, that's noise, that's distraction, because that happens, especially in school and you're in the hallway, you'll hear distractions. Hopefully it doesn't fully distract you from your conversation, but that's the noise. And then her right there, she's the receiver. She received the message that was sent from homeboy over here. Okay. And I did as told. I labeled, and I only used the words that were given, which were sender, receiver, message, and noise. Message is here. You might not be able to see it because it's in pink in the arrow. All right. The fourth page goes on to our review where it said to read the rhetorics, communication, and what does that say? Information design, the RCID. And then here it talks about the RCID. Can you see that? I will read it. You won't be able to see the paper as I read. That's just, yeah. Rhetoric's Communication and Information Design is an academic professional PhD degree that prepares students to conduct research and disseminate their findings. Through university teaching, professional/industry settings, and publishing in professional and popular journals. RCID prepares students through research to be professionals in traditional and emerging economies, to work with industry, government, and nonprofit organizations. In an ever-emerging attention economy for undergraduate and graduate education, alumni of our CID program are uniquely suited to become faculty members in colleges of liberal arts and humanities, specifically in departments of humanities, English, rhetoric, composition/writing, communication studies, and digital/new media. I'm guessing that says news media. It might have been a typo, I don't know. And other innovative academic departments and writing/learning centers whose names and definitions remain emergent. Many of our students are also already in or are preparing for jobs in non-academic professional fields, including social media, information design, digital visualization, UX design, and other markets that value digital expertise and creativity. As you can see, I annotated under students to conduct research and disseminate their findings, because that's what our CID is for. Then the next page goes on to talk about rhetorics and what they are. And I will read what's on this page. Rhetorics. The first word of the name of the program, rhetorics. Intentionality appears in plural form. For some readers, this might seem peculiar, but this form of the word acknowledges that there is more than one rhetoric, for there is more than one culture. Rhetorics, in all of their singular, plural possibilities, establish the conditions for how we discover not only the available means, but also innovative forms of living, working, and playing with others across multitude of cultures. The rhetorics we not only build cultures, but also construct multiple linkage among them. All rhetorics, therefore, are the cultural meanings of producing and realizing the everyday cultural business of determining public policies for tomorrow's actions in the parliamentary system, deliberative discourses, assessing yesterday's actions in the legal system, judiciary, forensic discourses, and memorializing our dead today, and ceremonial systems through discourses. Rhetorics, accordingly, provide us opportunities to live our lives as a future and a past in the present. The RCID program is culturally bound, acknowledging a multiplicity of cultures and preparing academics to live across those cultures. In seminars, studios, soliloquies, and archives, RCID Students learn theories and practices of rhetorical traditions and history. I don't know if you can see that. Next page, I'll read on that one. Oral, print, and digital communication, social science and cultural research methodologies, ethical and critical examinations of rhetorical and communicative exchanges, and pedagogical approaches to multimodal information design and electronic communications. The RCID program attempts more. I don't know. It seems an overall balance of ecologies and rhetorics and communication. It features a cross-cultural, transdisciplinary curriculum with a conceptual emphasis on Aristotle's triad of knowing, doing, and making. Through theoretical, practical, pedagogical, We didn't. You get what I'm saying, Mr. Wiggins. And productive approaches to knowledge. Communication is not simply speaking and writing. The RCID curriculum emphasizes the study and multimodal production of language communication apparatuses such as pictographic and alphabetic rhetorics. More specifically, it explores gesturals, silent, oral, temporal, spatial, visual, written, and digital rhetorics. Faculty expertise and university infrastructure combine to provide RCID students with varied and abundant opportunities to study and apply their knowledge through cognitive and elective seminars, soliloquy, and independent study with faculty. Students prepare themselves to work in such areas as writing communication across the curriculum, visual communication, editing and production of digital publications, old and new media, critical theory, social media analytics, open source and intellectual property, audio and video cultures, feminist rhetorics, intersectionality, serious computer games, social justice networks, literature and performing arts, science and technology, information and user experience design, film, the study of global rhetorics, propaganda, and misinformation, and other emerging areas. As you can see, I annotated the information that I thought was important to me. And I will proceed. That was the last page. Now, we're going to go into the information I wrote down so that the information could adhere to my brain, okay? Because I can be a little slow at times. You may not be able to see it. I will read it. RCID annotation. RCID. Rhetorics, Communication, and Information Design is to conduct research and widely spread your findings. This can be done through university university teaching, professional/industry settings, and publishing in professional and popular journals. RDIC can help you prepare through research to be professional in the work field and in daily life like social media. The R in RCID stands for Rhetorics. Rhetorics is established the conditions for how we discover innovative forms of living, working, and playing with others. Rhetoric connects people culturally by determining, assessing, and memorializing, whether through language, gestures, visuals, oral communication, or writing. All right, now at the bottom, I go into the research that he asked us for the Mbongi. Mbongi research. Communication model is a conceptual framework that simplifies and visualizes the complex process of human communication, breaking it down into its key components. There are three main types of communication models. They are linear, interactive, and transactional. Linear models is a one-way process where one person is the sender and the other is the receiver. There is usually no room for the receiver to respond. Example, Aristotle's model. One of the oldest models, it involves a speaker, speech, listener, occasions, and effect. Now, if I'm not mistaken, did I draw that one? No, I didn't draw that one. Look, I'm like, No, I didn't. It's right here in the middle, if you can see it. Maybe if I bring, you see where it says linear model? Where you see the sender, message, noise on the outside, and then receiver. All right. The next one is Shannon and Weaver's model. Introduces elements like source, transmitter, channel, decoder, and noise. That's another example. I think I drew a picture of that one. Yes. Shannon and Weaver. You see your encoder, your decoder, also known as your sender and receiver. You see your message, your channel, and then your noise. Shannon Weaver model. All right. Then for your interactive models, interactive models is a two-way process where the sender and the receiver are having a conversation where the receiver is given their feedback. Where the receiver gives their feedback, Examples, Osgood, Osgood Scram model, a circular model that shows communication as a reciprocal exchange between sender and receiver. I did a picture of that one also because you said to record a picture of every model you write down. So there she is. You have your decoder and your encoder. You have your interpreter, also an interpreter because it's a back and forth conversation. The message, and it's just circular. made it a square because my name is Alexis, and that's what I chose to do. Another example was Wesley and McLean model, emphasizes the relationship between environmental responses and communication. Oh, there's my Wesley and McLean. Can you see it? These are labeled on the side. I don't know if you can see what it's labeled. But the X's are environmental factors. A stands for sender, B stands for receiver, C stands for gatekeeper, F stands for feedback, X1 stands for sensory experience, X2 object of orientation, and X3 is object of orientation. All right. Oh, also forgot to show you my interaction model. The one in the middle is interaction model. You see the sender and receiver, and message and feedback, and it's in a circle. All right. The next one is transactional models. It depicts communication as a continuous, dynamic process where participants simultaneously send and receive messages. Here are a few examples. Barnlud transaction model states that sending and receiving messages are not mutual exclusive actions. Dance's Halco model illustrates communication as dynamic, non-linear, and evolutionary processing. This is my picture for transaction. You have the encoding, decoding, then you have your noise. No, you have your noise, excuse me. Your noise. Then you have social context here. Then you have physical and psychological context, and then you have your relational context. And at the bottom is the dancing. You have the middle, which is the Barnes transaction. Communication channel, message channel, encodes, decodes, communication, receive and send. And then at the bottom you have the dancers. And that goes from what do you see? It says initiation, interpretation, response, feedback. And it's just like a tornado. Up and down. All right, and then you have the Dunning-Kruger effect. Is a cognitive bias where people with low competence in a particular area overestimate their own abilities, unaware of their own shortcomings. Example, driving. A new driver may overestimate their driving skills and cause an accident. And also through academics, a student may overestimate their ability to remember the information they learn and choose not to study for the test and fail. I do a picture of that. No. No, I did not. Then we have the Mbongi, or Bongi, excuse me. Bongi is a word for the Back Congo Bantu people of Congo, meaning learning place or learning circle, and refers to a communal gathering space where people come together to solve problems, share ideas, and foster community. Examples. In our class, teacher told us to get in 3 groups of 5 to 6 people and gave us an assignment where we all had to interact and come up with ideas. This was this was by Mbongi. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Oh, and if I didn't say so, my name is Alexis Bill. Thank you.